Hello? Today is January 19th, and I'm going to tell you briefly about the main military news of Ukraine. Russians want to capture Kiev this summer. Financial Times. The United States assumes that the situation at the front has reached a deadlock and may play into the hands of the aggressor. Their goal is to capture Donetsk, Luhansk, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, and Kherson regions this summer. And the priority is the capital. For this purpose, Putin is mobilizing 400,000 Russians. The Ukrainian armed forces are currently building fortifications and are ready to defend themselves. Russia should be deprived of nuclear weapons after the war. Deputy Defense Minister Gavrilyuk in an interview with Tagesspiegel. All wars end at the negotiating table with the signing of certain documents. I think the same will happen in our case. Agreements will be signed on the one hand by a coalition of states that support Ukraine and Russia on the other. And this document should include a clause on Russia's renunciation of nuclear weapons, because this state is a threat to the world. Russian attack on a NATO country possible in 5 to 8 years, German Defense Ministry says. The minister called for preventive measures to be taken in advance, in particular by strengthening the defense industry. In addition, he has already put forward the idea of introducing compulsory military service, and he expects a proposal from his ministry by April. Pistorius said he was ready to open access to the armed forces to soldiers without a German passport. We will not be the first armed forces in Europe to do this. There are people in the country who are second or third generation German citizens, but do not yet have German citizenship, he said. Last night, the GRU raided not only Rosneft's oil depot but also the Tambov Gunpowder Plant with drones, NB reports, citing a source in the intelligence services. The company is one of the largest Russian producers of gunpowder for all types of weapons and artillery systems of the Russian Army, Navy and BKS. It is the only one in Russia that produces certain brands of powder. There is a possibility that Russia is planning a new large-scale offensive for the summer along the entire front line, and possibly near Kiev. Financial Times. The goal will be to completely capture Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia regions. Although there is no prospect of an operational breakthrough this year. In this regard, Ukraine is switching to an active defense strategy, holding positions while searching for weaknesses and conducting long-range airstrikes. This should allow Ukraine to build up its forces this year and prepare for 2025, when a counteroffensive would have more chances. U.S. intelligence believes that the war in Ukraine will last for another 2 years, maybe 5. CNN. Americans see this scenario regardless of who wins the presidential election in the fall of 2024. Estimates vary, but almost all journalists' interlocutors assume that the war will last at least 2 more years. Behind the scenes, some U.S. officials say that the fighting could last another 5 years. Germany has become the main aid provider after the United States. Since the beginning of the war, it has provided aid totaling €5.97 billion. 2022, €1.63 billion. 2023, €4.34 billion. Russian A-50 aircraft spotted over the Sea of Azov. Ihnat. We talked the day before about what would happen after the destruction of the A-50. Another one would arrive. There is nothing surprising, because Russia has more such aircraft. Therefore, there is A-50, there is a fighter jet closer to Rostov, as well as drones that monitor the front line, said Ihnat, a spokesman for the Air Force. Russia and Belarus have almost 22,000 troops on the northern border with Ukraine, says Serhiy Nayev, commander of the Joint Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The military is constantly conducting reconnaissance, shelling the border areas, and actively building up engineering and fortification equipment. But the situation remains under control. That was all the main military news from Ukraine. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest military news from Ukraine. Goodbye.